Welcome to the future. PBS Digital.
Previously on Everyday Edisons, Wendy chose Befuddleum over Babylon to be the name of her idiom game.
I love the name. I really do.
The Murtagh mortar mixing hoe passed its field test, and the engineering team made modifications to make it perform even better.
There's still a lot of issues to resolve, but the fundamental premise of the concept, this, is absolutely brilliant.
The industrial design team gave the scrapbook lady's magnetic blue binder a new look.
I want to take it to the point to where it does become maybe a form icon or functional icon of scrapbooking.
The design team also tackled RUSS and BRENT's papier-mâché prototype, and the branding team gave the wing volcano a new name, Snack Daddy.
We can be very successful with the Snack Daddy name.
Every great idea deserves a chance to change the way we live, the way we work, and the way we play. From thousands of ideas pitched at casting calls across the country, 7 were handpicked to be developed by a team of product development experts. Each idea will be designed, engineered, branded, and sent to store shelves. And each product's inventor will play a pivotal role in the evolution of their product. Millions could be made, obstacles overcome, dreams will come true on this season of Everyday Edisons. To transform an idea into a great product, it takes teamwork. And our team of industrial designers, engineers, and branding experts have been hard at work doing just that for our group of Everyday Edisons. To this point, the scrapbook ladies have been through ideation, the process of putting design ideas down on paper. And their magnetic layout folder that used to look like this, now looks like this. Inspired by the new design, the branding team is ready to give it a brand identity, and the Everyday Edisons engineers are set to begin bringing it to life.
We've got a great design with the scrapbooking product right now, but now we've got to create an identity. We need a name that really personifies what this product is. We can't call it a magnetic scrapbooking thingamajig. We need a name that people will reference it by, that people will tell their friends about it, and that people will aspire to want to own.
For branding team leader Ron Randall, a brand name isn't just a name of a product, it's a promise to the consumer.
A brand is bigger than the product itself. It's the difference between a product doing what you expect it to do and a brand that delivers on a promise.
And it's that kind of responsibility that gets Ron and his team excited about the challenge of branding a product.
The scrapbook project is an easy project to get excited about. This isn't a project that you look at and you go, what will I ever do with that? Although we're not scrappers, I think we really got excited when we saw the industrial design. Daniel had done an amazing job taking what was essentially 2 slabs of metal and some magnets and a plastic binder and breathing some life into it.
So with a little inspiration from the industrial design team, the branding team began brainstorming.
I like Scraptivate.
Well, Scraptivate, it's got fun. Also, I think Scraplicity's kind of got the same kind of feel to it.
And I liked Inscription.
Scraptiva has the right feel.
Okay.
Yeah.
The thing that works best is when you have a brand and a product that align together, that live and breathe at the intersection of what the consumer wants, what the product does really well, and what somebody's expectations are for the product. When you line all those things up together through engineering, through design, through smart branding, and you deliver the consumer product that they want, it's killer. It works absolutely. It's an out-of-the-park homer every time.
With some potential home run names on the table, Ron and company were ready to present them to Pam, Mary, and Deborah.
First one, XIPZ, zips. We actually looked at using the word scrap in the name. So, Scraptiva. This could be called the Magna Scrapper. And there are products out there that are just as simply named and have done very well. For us, that's not really what we're after. We want to have something that transcends the functionality of the product and is its own brand. And taking a clue from the Latin word for magnet, call it Amanta. And we'll call it Archivo. Give it a little Latin flair and call it Archivo. And the last one we would call it is Memento. Spell it slightly different, meaning a moment from the Spanish a moment.
After being presented with more than 24 name choices, Pam, Mary, and Deborah picked their name.
We actually could have gone either way. We liked a lot of them, but we think the name that we chose,
Archivo,
is perfect and it's right on target.
I do believe we have a fantastic name. There were great options there. And it really is a process. You really have to go through that with the client. They need to see the thinking and they need to see how it's developed and to see that there are other options.
The type of name is going to drive the way it looks in the market, the kind of ads we can do, the kind of taglines, the packaging, everything. So I think it's a great start, and I think the name that we have is going to go along so well with the way it looks now.
With the design and brand now in place, the Everyday Edisons engineering team will begin working on the Archivo, and they're going to have to work fast. A decision has been made to unveil the product at the country's largest craft and hobby show in Las Vegas, and it's just a few weeks away.
Yeah, I think we've got a great opportunity to really have a coming out party for this particular product. The big craft and hobby show is in Las Vegas. It's only in a couple weeks, and it's really going to be a challenge for our team to get it all put together so this product can shine at this event. The feedback we're going to get from this event is going to be critical to the commercial success of this product. We've got to make it happen.
To get the Archivo ready for the trade show, lead engineer Ian Kovakovich will take Daniel's designs and import them into a CAD or computer-aided design program and begin building the Scrapbook Ladies product in a 3D environment.
Well, the first step is to understand, what are the features that we're trying to achieve. In the Archivo's case, it has storage, it has work surfaces, it has the ability to lay out 2 pages simultaneously.
Although 3 custom colors and a suede material were picked out for the aesthetics of Archivo in the design phase, pressed for time, Ian's goal is to make a prototype that functions and is as true to form as possible.
We don't have much time. We know what we're up against. We know what we have to deliver in a set amount of time.
As the Archivo begins to take shape, Ian is cautiously optimistic he'll have a working prototype ready for the trade show that's quickly approaching.
It really doesn't matter what something looks like if it doesn't function. Looks are important, but it's got to work.
When Wendy Hampton presented her game idea to us at our casting call in Atlanta, that's all she had, an idea. But all the research she put into it and the game concept she had begun to develop were strong enough to make her an everyday Edison.
The theme of the game is basically idioms, and they are everyday terminologies that we use in our English language.
We've really enjoyed working with Wendy. I look back at the first casting call, and all she brought was an idea. Since then, we've made considerable progress. We've developed a great identity to the product, a great name. But it's not just a name that sells a product. If that's all it took, my job would be easy. Now what we've got to figure out is the gameplay. How are we going to get people engaged in this game? How are we going to get them to want to play it over and over again? We've got to differentiate this product. It's a crowded market out there. And let's face it, retail packaging, it's the last 3 seconds, it's the last 3 feet before a consumer makes a decision.
It'll be graphic artist Jason Gammon's job to visually bring Buffudium to life.
Idioms, there's some of them are so off the wall, they make great visuals. So really what I wanted to do was go through our list of idioms, the thousands that we had, and pick just a few that would make really good, strong icons or little characters that would represent the game.
So Jason decided to pick 4 iconic idiom characters to feature on the exterior sides of a 6x6 game cube.
I picked Kick the Bucket, obviously because if someone doesn't know what an idiom is and they look at the package, they'll think, oh, kick the bucket, okay, I get it. That's why I chose Knock Yourself Out, because it was a great opportunity to have a goofy little Mexican wrestler and you know, super stout little guy with a traditional cartoon knock himself off his feet with a little dust cloud at the bottom. You know, it's just a great little gag. And then Holy Cow to me just seemed kind of fun because it was just a fun, festive character that, you know, people say Holy Cow, but they don't, a lot of times, I mean, they never imagine a cow, and they never imagine, you know, a cow in some religious clothing. It's just kind of a funny juxtaposition. And the wolf in sheep's clothing is also, it's something that's kind of recognizable. A lot of people have probably seen those kind of images. It's just another opportunity to have a fun animal. I also wanted to have a mix of human and animals just to kind of give a little personality to the game.
While Jason finalized the game's graphics, industrial designer Daniel BIZZELL worked on developing Befuddlium's inner tray.
From the moment you separate the box from the base, that gameplay pedestal is ready to go. It's the interactive point of the game. It's the true point where you remove the cards, you play with the game, you activate the timing system. It's really cool. I mean, it just makes it an instant gameplay scenario.
And the branding team began working on how Befuddlium would be played.
We took Wendy's original idea and her rules, and we printed out a couple sample idioms off the internet and decided to, you know, do a quickie game, play for an hour or so or whatever, just to get a feel, and basically just going through the experiences of, does this work, does that work? It just kind of worked itself out, and it developed into this cool little gameplay.
Gameplay that favored silliness over strategy.
Oh, you're kidding. The challenge is, okay, you have to have your team. You're the clue giver. You have to give the clue to help your team guess the idiom. Now the challenge is, you roll the die and it determines how you get to do that. There's 4 different ways. There's draw it, act it, shout it, spell it, and then on the 2 other die, there's on the 2 other sides of the die, you get to choose it. You get to choose the way you do it out of those 4, or lose it, which basically means the other guys, your enemies, get to choose the way you get to do it. It's fun to play depending on how smart your group is. If no one knows any of the idioms, then you're like, come on.
So with the graphic design done and gameplay elements fleshed out, Befuddlium's progress was presented to Wendy.
The way it turned out, the colors are so rich and so vibrant and colorful, and the characters are so playful and appealing to me that we really had no doubt that Wendy would love it.
So on the store shelf, they see Befuddlium, big, fat front and center, along with the idioms, powerful colors, and just a really nice graphic presentation. It really is strong and really is. Love to hear what your first impressions are.
I think it's great. I can definitely just see going into any store and passing by this and coming back to it, because it's just, it definitely sets itself apart from anything else I've ever seen so far. So yeah, I am truly impressed. I really like it. I love what you've done. I really love the creativity that Jason put in it, and I love the fact that it was fun for him. The fact that you can take an idea, you know, and somebody runs with it, and they see the potential that it has to really be a great game. And not only do they see it, but they're able to express it in their work. And that's one of the things that I was really, really impressed with.
Loving something personally is no big deal, you know. I love what I did, you know. But having someone, you know, justify my thoughts, and someone that, you know, especially the creator of the game, to love it, it really makes you feel good. And it also helps you confirm that you've chosen the right path.
We know now that the Murtagh masonry mixing tool works. Field testing proved that. And after the engineering team made some minor modifications, it works even better. Now, 3 teams, design, branding, and engineering, will work together to make it a sellable product.
The product works. In fact, the product works better than what we originally expected. But what we've got to do now is create a product that we can sell. And that's going to require the coordinated effort and resources of a number of team members. We've got to bring in the brand element. We've got to create an identity to this product. We've got to bring in our design team so they can actually come up with a design and style and features to the product. And then we've got to bring engineering into the fold to make sure that all those design and style features and branding elements can be incorporated into the product so it will be a dynamic product to be sold at retail.
But yeah, it's a project that, you know, even I get choked up on while I'm working on it, and I want to be sensitive to it because I realize it's almost, you know, living will.
This project is exactly what the show was designed to do, you know, to help these people, and so it's hard not to become fully engaged in it.
For industrial designer Daniel BIZZELL and engineer Chris Hoy, working on the Murtagh's project is an honor.
And I'm proud to work on it. It's a great feeling knowing that you are helping a dream come true.
And while Daniel works on designing an end cap for the handle of the product,
I have a feeling that putting the bell on the end of the handle is going to be a huge improvement. It's going to make it, you know, the product stand out from other products.
And Chris continues to make improvements to the blade.
It worked. It definitely worked, and what we just did was really useful.
The branding team finds themselves in the unique position of potentially using the Murtagh family name to brand the product and honor its inventor, John Murtagh.
The story, I mean, it's just such a appealing to know that this family for years has been developing this tool, and it was kind of his dream to have this thing and to make that a reality. To me, it'd be a shame not to reference Murtagh.
But in naming exercises, not everyone was sold on branding the Murtagh's tool a Murtagh.
The father designed the original version of this tool, and he has since passed away. And the family views this as very much his legacy. Now, calling it the Murtagh Tool Company, I'm not real crazy about. There's really nothing differentiating you from what's already out there.
Yeah.
If it works, great. I mean, it would be really wonderful. Maybe there's another way we can work it in.
After going back and forth on the issue, the branding team made their decision.
We wanted the brand to seem like a super aggressive brand and that these tools are built to last kind of thing.
So the brand name would be Pitbull, but the tool John Murtagh invented would forever be known as...
It doesn't sound like someone's name when you see, if you have a tool named a Murtagh. If you don't know about this show and you don't know about the family legacy of it, it just seems like a cool, ambiguous name that is just the next tool, such as shovel, you know, it's a Murtagh.
John Murtagh's legacy as an inventor was intact.
My dad was never at a loss of words, but if he was here to see what you have done, he would tear up. He would. And he always had this stone exterior. He'd break down if he saw this. He would.
He'd cry quicker than these two.
He would. He would.
But shortly after the naming presentation, there was a problem, and the Murtaghs had to be called back in to hear the news firsthand.
With our initial searches for the trademark, Pitbull seemed clear, but after the meeting we had last, we basically gave it to a patent attorney to do further investigation, and we found out that the name Pitbull was already being pursued by someone else. They actually got it before we did. And it's in an area that's not specific to what we're doing, but it's close enough and it's broad enough that we don't want to really chance it. We just are gonna stay clear, and we decided to come up with another name. And we feel that the name we came up with is actually stronger and maybe more appropriate for the brand. They were so in love with the name Pitbull, there was a lot of fear, like, okay, well, they're gonna cry, but it won't be out of happiness, it'll be out of sadness, and it'll be a bad cry instead of a good cry. There's Pitbull, that's the original. Our new name is Vicious.
Oh my God.
So it'll be Vicious Tools. Luckily, they actually kind of went along with us. I think they actually liked Vicious better, so in the long run, it was all happy and smiles and joy.
I think it was a good change because when my dad had first started with this invention, his earlier designs went to the patent office and it was rejected, which was extremely frustrating for him, but it also forced him to design it even better. Some additional design features that were incorporated actually made it a much, much better tool. So Vicious is definitely a step up from I think, from Pitbull as it was with my dad when he first come up with this design.
Seeing a designer picking a name and logo for a product is an exciting time for an inventor. But holding a prototype for the first time can be one of the most exciting parts of the entire product development process. And for Snack Daddy inventors Russ and Brent, that time has come.
We started off with a papier-mâché prototype. We've got a great looking design, but I can't touch and hold that. I need something that we can actually test to see if it actually works. So the next step in the process is to send it downstairs to our engineering team, and they can do a rapid prototype of this product and actually create it so we can test it out.
During Russ and Brent's casting call audition, their papier-mâché prototype got our judges' attention.
We're here today to show our invention, the Bone Zone. It's really a serving tray for chicken wings. The wings come out around the top of the tray, and you could have your dips and condiments in here as well with the celery. And as you eat the wings, you drop them into the Bone Zone, and they disappear below the tray so that nobody has to see them as they finish their meal.
It's a good thing you paid attention to those kindergarten art classes because your prototype really sells it for us.
Since then, the guy's wing volcano has been branded Snack Daddy.
Kind of the minute we all heard Snack Daddy, we were like, that's it.
And on paper, their papier-mâché prototype now looks like this. A design that's as functional as it is attractive.
Yeah, the concept and the original idea was very solid, and then the execution of the idea by your design team was spot on. I think we brought a lot to the table in terms of suggestions and ways that you could leverage the design for the to-go product, for example. And then Daniel came back with, a perfect rendition of our idea. It's great.
Now it's up to Everyday Edison's lead engineer, Ian Kovakovich, to take Daniel's design and turn it into a tangible product that'll take the place of Russ and Brent's papier-mâché prototype and become their new form model.
We took his file, brought it into our 3D CAD systems, and really the only difference there is some of the tools and features. We're able to add thickness. You have an obvious place to dispose of the bones. Actually, the whole size is generated by the need to fit the sauce that typically comes with it. So your dipping sauce. And the lid also becomes the base. We played a little bit with these recesses here and got rid of the sharp edges, did some filleting, added some holes for drainage.
With Snack Daddy prototypes on the table, Ian was ready to unveil them to Russ and Brent.
It'll be good to show them something that hopefully is doing what they set out to do. That's the goal. Might as well let you guys see them, huh? Like gift wrapped here.
Awesome, there it is.
There you go. Version 1, version 2. Yeah, it's nice that there's two of you so you can each.
Right. This is awesome. That's what we thought. Very impressed.
Love them. I think they're incredible.
What do you think? They are. Couldn't have been done better.
I really think people are going to look at it. They're going to look at it and instantly know what kind of value it brings to the dining experience, and they're going to want them on their tables.
Yeah, whether people want to see the bones or not, they're going to see this, and it's going to make too much sense. That's all it is.
I'm just going to line a shelf with them. I think it could be decorative.
To celebrate the unveiling of the Snack Daddy prototype, the Everyday Edisons team took Russ and Brent out for what else than a Snack Daddy full of chicken wings.
Now they're dispersing gracefully to the sides.
It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Ever.
And ordinarily, I'm only inclined to eat just a small number of wings, but without having to look at these wings, I'm all about loading up on wings.
Yeah, we don't need plates anymore because just put them in the hole.
Bad move, man.
That is the bone product.
Oh, yeah.
I can't stand it. I feel like, we've climbed the summit, we've sat on the top of the project, and we've gotten to see, literally using the thing the way we envisioned it. It's amazing. Since we first conceived this product and actually going through all the, brainstorming and all the chatter back and forth about what the thing is exactly going to look like, and then to sit down at a table and eat these wings, it all just came together for us.
So our Everyday Edisons products are coming to life, as our entire product development team has been hard at work trying to make the best products possible, as well as making all of our inventors' dreams come true. Next time on Everyday Edisons, the scrapbook lady's prototype is unveiled at the trade show in Las Vegas. A licensing deal looms for Stan's T-Square. Frank's trash can technology is branded and manufacturing begins in China. And Maria sees the final design of her 3-in-1 baby bag. And on this and every episode, we conclude with a helpful invention lesson on Everyday Edisons.
When you file online, you get an electronic receipt. You should get it within 24 hours. Usually it's within a few minutes. That tells you exactly what the USPTO has put into our electronic systems about your application, what the mark is, who the owner is, all that kind of information. So you can check and make sure you've actually filed what you think you filed.